But one thing that has changed from last year is Faker has reclaimed his #1. Should we have ever moved him off of #1 in the first place last year, Deficio?
In hindsight, no, but I felt like coming into Worlds last year, Smeb was such a fantastic player, and there was definitely a case to be made for him to be #1. But Faker proved everyone wrong, as always, at Worlds. And I think this year as well, with Faker, while there were definitely some moments during the summer split where SKT were not performing very well, towards playoff, Faker once again picks it up and ends up being the best player in the world.
Yeah, and I wasn't standing here last year when you guys rated Smeb as the best player, but I would have been right there with you. I mean, when a player comes in, double league MVP in the spring season and summer season, you have to weight that high. He was kind of game-breaking in a sense as a top laner, especially in the regular season and playoff runs last year. So I also had Faker at 2. He proved us all wrong, and we made that adjustment because I don't think anyone had a bigger argument than Faker for 1.
Yeah, and even this year, it wasn't a certainty until the run at the end to me, right? They started struggling a lot in the summer split, but the way he performed and nearly took SKT to yet another championship during those playoffs stood out to me in a big way. The way Faker changes the rules of the game, it almost feels like. Like when he is playing Lucian against a Taliyah mid and a Jarvan jungle, he's so good at dodging skill shots, he makes it an ungankable lane. Right? And almost no other player in the world can do it that well. And it's not just that champion he does it on. He does it on the entire spectrum of champions within League of Legends. So, I mean, and he's done it for so long.
That's the thing, it's more than just in-game as well. It's when teams are planning, to play SKT, to play Faker specifically. There are certain matchups these pro players are very used to playing that they do not want to play against Faker specifically as the only player in the world. So then suddenly they get afraid of picking certain matchups like that, certain champions blind, because they know he will have these 5, 6 different picks he can pick against it that you're normally not facing. And even in playoffs, the Fizz performance, he was one of the only players to play AP Fizz in the mid lane still, at least a lot. And watching him like snipe carries against Samsung in late game team fights and literally solo carry that thing for SKT was just once again a confirmation of Faker being the greatest player who will ever play this game. And it's why he's, of course, once again back as #1.
And it's really interesting because you mentioned the gauntlet run and the names that he had to run through when he was running the finals gauntlet. Kuro, his old nemesis from the Rocks Tigers, now on Afrika, into Crown and Pawn. He really was able to dismantle these players who had had very good seasons. BDD, able to actually stand up to him in the final, was a big reason that Longzhu could pick up the victory. But I love the fact that also, Jack, especially you were talking about previous international tournaments. You think this year and you're like, decent MSI, not necessarily as big an MSI as perhaps some of his previous worlds. Rift Rivals struggled quite a lot at Rift Rivals. He didn't have the sort of year where, like Smeb last year, where it was spring and summer, undeniable MVP. But yet, he still had a gauntlet, and the recency of that gauntlet and what he was able to achieve there against really tough opposition makes you confident to say, this is the player to look at Worlds. He has performed on the stage before, and you look at those performances, you say, I am 100% confident that he will perform again.
Yeah, he's got the recency and the history. Only 3-time world champion at the World Championship right now, going for 4. Time to talk about the rest of the list, though. And one thing that we all struggled with was Longzhu. And how highly do we rank